What's going on, guys? So this is one of my favorite kind of images I've done in Procreate, and I'm not saying it's one of the best or anything like that. It's just I haven't really done anything else like it since I did it. Um, so this is an original character. I draw this guy a lot, and it just kind of sticks with me because I tried to make this kind of like DreamWorks Pixar type version of the character. Now, I didn't try and go all the way kind of 3D render or anything like that. I'm not trying to say that's even what I achieved, but what I was trying to do was make a kind of cartoony but at the same time semi-realistic with kind of gradient kind of skin tones and stuff type character. And I wanted the character to seem like it came to life, and I even went in and added a little bit of ambient occlusion and such and such. I did that just because I felt like a lot of the stuff I was doing at the time just wasn't great. I'd be cell shaded. I didn't feel like it was gonna be. I didn't think I feel like I was gonna do anything that was really like this. So when I finally did this, I was like, oh, okay. The only thing that's blocking me is me, and it's really the truth, right? I think the biggest thing about doing art in Procreate, and for me doing art in different software that I'm not used to, is getting out of my own way. Understanding that an art program and most programs that we use to make things, if they allow you to do something, it means you can do it. If you figure out how to do something, it means that you can do it and you can open new doors. And that's why there's so many different artists with so many different looks, in terms of their art, because there's many art techniques, there's many ways to do different things. Sometimes just adding lines to the outside of something like this can completely and utterly change the dynamic, right? I was just under the impression that Procreate wasn't great for painting, which obviously isn't true. But for me, because it wasn't the same as Photoshop, I didn't think that I'd be able to, complete anything that was kind of painterly, which is contrary because prior to this, I already had created this piece called The Big Lug. I'm not sure if I've uploaded it yet, but I'm going to do a voiceover. I'm going to re-upload it if I haven't or whatever, just because I wanted to kind of do it justice because it was the first thing I did in Procreate that made sense, and I literally used a pencil brush and the smudge tool for the whole process, and it's pretty damn realistic. Um, but anyway, this piece was kind of a breakthrough for me, and it kind of made me feel more competent within Procreate. But it's funny because I never did anything like this again. I tried several times to do something similar, but then I ended up going down a completely different path and finding a different kind of way. And to be honest, this is the piece that kind of made me try more things, try more painterly techniques within Procreate, and be a little bit more experimental. So I kind of thank this piece for that. I tried a lot of different brushes. I made a lot of different brushes when using this. All the brushes I used in this, I think, except the turpentine brush I use at the end, were brushes that I made. And this was before you could use Photoshop brushes in Procreate. So this would like I'd take Photoshop kind of brush stamps and I'd bring them in from Photoshop into Procreate, and I'd try and make them work for me, and and that was kind of how I'd make everything work. But overall, I was just trying to create a smooth kind of skin tones and stuff. There used to be an artist called Alexander Zedig Debuan. Well, he's still an artist, but he doesn't paint anymore, right? And he had this brush. It's like a chalk brush, and I replicated that brush in Procreate, and that's the brush I was using for a lot of this process, and that still today is one of my favorite brushes, and it's like a foundation for my actual favorite brush. I just changed the stamp on my actual kind of new favorite. But I'm going to be at some point making a simple brush pack, because I don't like all these crazy kind of brush packs with too many brushes in. I think my brush pack will probably be 10 brushes or something like that, maybe 20, but that's a lot of brushes to think about, and you don't really need that many. For the most part, I think 10's enough. But that's the piece, guys. I enjoyed it. This was my breakthrough. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.